Well, hello, welcome to devotional number 2, Lessons Surrounding the Cross. Happy Good Friday. Today's lesson begins in that upper room where Jesus and the disciples celebrating the Passover, and Jesus says to them, all of you are going to fall away on account of me. And Peter says, Lord, no way. I am ready to go with you to prison and even to death for you. And Jesus says, tell you, Peter, before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times that you even know me. And you know the story. Just a few hours later, it begins. Peter sat down in the courtroom. A servant girl looks at him and says, this man was with Jesus. Peter denies it. I don't even know him. A little later, someone else saw him. You're also one of them. Man, I'm not. Peter replied. About an hour later, another said, certainly this fellow is with him, for he's a Galilean. Peter replied, man, I don't even know what you're talking about. And at that moment, the rooster crowed. The Lord turned and looked straight at Peter, and then Peter remembered what the Lord had said about the rooster crowing, and he went out and wept. That rooster crowing just was a wake-up call to Peter. What am I doing? What am I doing? I got to stop this. I think if the rooster didn't crow, Peter might have denied Jesus 4 times, a 5th time, a 6th time. But that was a wake-up call from Jesus saying, look, remember this? What are you doing? Stop. And I think there's times in our lives where Jesus, quote, sends us a rooster. Kind of a strange title to this devotional, but what I mean is this. Right? So you're going along in life, you're doing things, and you don't even realize what you're doing sometimes. You don't realize the bad habits you're getting into, the bad road you're going down. You don't realize it until Jesus sends something into your life to wake you up. It could be a teacher that takes you aside and talks to you and says, I'm concerned about the direction you're heading in and some of the things you're doing. Maybe some friends of yours confront you and they tell you that they're concerned that you're getting into some pretty bad habits. Okay? That's God speaking to you, sending the rooster into your life to wake you up and realize what you're doing. Maybe it's a preacher. You're at church and that sermon seems to be directed right at you. Well, it is, because God is speaking to you through that preacher. Listen. Maybe it's a situation in your life. You think, man, every time I'm with these 2 friends, I always get into trouble. Well, that's God's sending a rooster in your life and say, okay, look, hello, wake up, knock it off. Maybe you're reading some devotions, and there's a verse that keeps popping up. Maybe it's this verse, Psalm 19. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, O Lord. And you look at that and you say, you know what? Some of the stuff I've been doing on my devices and looking at my computer or phone, would be pleasing to God. I think I better knock it off. Thank you for listening. That God's little rooster in your life, waking you up to what you're doing. It's him saying, you better knock it off now. You're heading down a bad road. So listen to the voice of God in your life through all these people and situations and through God's word. Listen. That's his way of sending a rooster, waking you up to what you're doing. And him saying, okay, knock it off. Listen. Thank you. All right. Number 3 is coming up yet today. Looking forward to being with you again as we focus on lessons surrounding the cross.